think we stop at the trainer smile sheet, right? Which is, and I think our digital learning evals kind of often reflect the same kind of legacy of questions of how would you rate your instructor on a Likert scale? How would you rate the content? How would you rate the experience overall? Which lapses into things on hospitality and other kind of factors like that. Not that those factors aren't important, but if you were to measure things like confidence, things like, okay, did this help you, was there a job to be done that you were able to do with this, right? I mean, we're using we're moving away from those kind of instructor evals, course evals, which are problematic for me because if you're going through a lot of learning, you don't like to get your temperature taken like constantly every time. We live in a world where that happens a lot, but it's still annoying. So we try to get smart about when we serve up. Oh, it's your first time doing this. Okay, that's going to trigger the survey. But for us, it's a combination of pretty minimal survey evaluation and more data-driven analysis of what's happening as a result of this.
We forget about the remembering piece. We measure comprehension in a snapshot in time, but we forget that people are going to forget. And because of that, if we do a snapshot when people have just learned something, it looks like they've learned it really well. But if we haven't designed into our training ways to support remembering, then that's a real biased result. It makes us look better than we are.
Everybody wants a quiz, right? Still, even today, everybody wants a quiz. A lot of the time, I'm able to show them that if we set up the training based on the performance objective with the exercises that they say will show that they understand the performance objective, then we've already assessed them. And we don't need to give them a quiz.
Because sometimes self-reported performance is so different from, there's some people that are just really polite. They're going to give you great evaluations. They're going to mark 10s for you regardless because that's the kind of person they are. There's, of course, the other kind of person as well. But if we're trying to move the needle on performance, being able to measure performance as opposed to measuring your reaction gives us a much better target there. So
if you're new in the field, you probably ought to study the Kirkpatrick model. It will not be called the Kirkpatrick-Cassell model, probably where you see it, but you need to know that because that's everybody's frame of reference. And then you should probably read some critiques about it.
So you have to sort of serve the operations people, and then you have to serve the HR folks, and they're kind of different. In the HR world, they're going to really want to know about, did they learn it and did they get trained? And that's okay. I get it. It's a decent metric, right? But it really doesn't inform you about any change that's being made to the metrics that the business wants to measure. So you might get the idea, well, great, I'm just going to go find out what the business is measuring so that then I can talk to that. But you'll find that aside from a handful of metrics, they don't really know what they want. They don't, like if you say to them, what does good look like so that I can build a bridge to that, they won't know how to express that to you. So a lot of the needs analysis and consulting piece that you have to do in an organization is actually business acumen oriented. You have to get the business to understand how to measure something from a behavioral point of view. So it'll typically be like, okay, what's a good number that you're trying to hit in the business? And then what are the behaviors that drive that? And I have that conversation constantly. Because then with learning, you have to, you're trying to change the behavior. You can't be thinking about the business metric because it just doesn't, people don't drive that. Behaviors drive that.